Hi there and welcome. In this video, I want to introduce you to Pascal's triangle and show you how to use it. First of all, what is Pascal's triangle? Pascal's triangle is a triangular array of numbers representing the coefficients of the powers of x when we expand expressions such as 1 plus x all raised to the power 6. Of course, we know that a triangle is something of this shape, where this here, we call it the apex, and this here is the base, and these, of course, are the sides of the triangle. So there's a base here, there's an apex there, and all those, and these two sides there. Now, Pascal's triangle is exactly like that. So how do we put it together? Okay, now, just like in a triangle, you do have an apex, as I indicated. So the apex of Pascal's triangle is a 1. So right at the top, you put a 1. Now, let's call this line 0. The number in line 0 is 1, representing the apex of our triangle. What is contained in line 2? Right, in line 2, what you do is you put a 1 to the right of this apex here, and another 1 to the left of the apex. So we put a 1 here, and we put another 1 here. Okay, let's call this line 1, because we called the top there line 0. So I'm just wondering where I can, let me just put it somewhere here. This will be line 0, a little 0 there, okay? Right? So line 0, line 1. So let's indicate that as line 1. Just a little 1 there. What about in line 2? Line 2, again, we first of all put a 1 to the left of the one above, and we put another 1 to the right of the one above. What do we put here in the middle? In the middle here, we take the two numbers directly above this and add them together. So there's a 1 here and there's another 1 here. So 1 plus 1, then we put a 2 here. Let me just repeat what I said in a slightly different way. In line 2, we put a 1 to the left of the one above it here, and we put another 1 to the right of it. Then in between here, the number missing is the sum of this 1 and this 1, which is a 2. So this will be line 2. I'll just put a little 2 there. I hope you can see it from where you are. Okay, now what about line 3? Again, you start with a 1 to the left of this one and a 1 to the right of this one. Then what do we put in between here? We take this 2 and this 1, we add it together, we get a 3. We take this 2 again and this 1 here, we add it together, we get a 3. Look at our triangle. It's slowly building up, isn't it? With the apex there and the sides going like that until we get somewhere here to the base. So again, let's call it 3. Let's put our little 3 there. Okay, that's line 3. Okay, what about line 4? First thing, we put a 1 to the right of the left of this one, and another 1 to the left of this one. What happens in between here? We take these 3 and this 1 added together, we get a 4. And of course, put it somewhere in between them. We then take this 3 and this 3, add them together, we get a 6. We get this 3 and this 1, we add it together, we get a 4. Line 4 is complete. So let's put our little label there, line 4. Okay, let's go to line 5. Again, we start with a 1 to the left of this and a 1 to the right of this one. What do we put in between here? We take this 4 and this 1, add them together, we get a 5. We take this 4 and this 6, we add them together, we get a 10. We get this 6 and this 4, we add them together, we get another 10. We add this 4 and this 1, we add them together, we get a 5. our line number 5 is complete. Nice triangle building up there. So this will be line number 5. Okay, right. Line number 6. Again, you start with your 1 here and your 1 to the right of this one. What about in between here? We come here, you add this 5 and this 1 to get a 6. You add this 5 and this 10 to get a 15. You get this 10 and this 10 to get a 20. You add this 10 and this 5 to get a 15. Let me write it here, a 15. You take this 5 and this 1, you get a 6. Line number 6 is complete. There is line 6 there. Let's go to line number 7. Line number 7, again, you start with a 1 here and you put another 1 here. Always start with the 1 to the left of the 1 above it and the 1 to the right of the 1 above it. And then for the numbers in between, you take this 6 and this 1, you add them together, you get a 7. You take this 6 and this 15, that gives us a 21. You take this 15 and this 20, that gives you a 35. You take this 20 and this 15, you get a 35. You take this 15 and this 6 to give you a 21. You take this 6 and this 1, you get a 7. So now our line number 7 is complete. Let's put our little label there. Finally, let's put line number 8. Okay, once again, we got a 1 here and we've got another 1 here. Don't forget to put these ones. Then you fill in everything in between. Well, here a 1 and a 7 gives us an 8. A 7 and a 21 gives us a 28. A 21 and a 35 gives us a 56. A 35 and a 35 gives us a 70. A 35 and a 21 gives us a 56. A 21 and a 7 gives us a 28. A 7 and a 1 gives us an 8. Oh, let me, I didn't write them correctly. Let me write them nicely. So it forms a nice, beautiful triangle. I think this one is right. So that was a 1 and a 7 to give us an 8. A 21 and a 7 give us 28. Here we get a 56. Here we get a 70. Here we get a 56 again. Here we get a 28. Here we get an 8. Okay, so now we end here. That gives us our base. Okay, of course we could go on and on and on and on. Now that we know that, first of all, we put a 1 here, we put another 1 here, then we add this to give us our next term with that, and so forth and so forth. So theoretically, you can go on and on and on until you get to maybe the 16th line or whatever, if you do have the time. So let's remember, this is line number 8. Remember, we started with line 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I should make this a little bigger. I hope it doesn't. So that was 3. That was 2. That was line 1. Oh, this thing. And of course, this was line 0. The red numbers there, remember, they just tell us what line it is, starting from line 0. There's our apex with the 1 at the top, and all the way on the sides, they consist of 1s and so forth. And of course, we ended here. That's going to be our base. Now, the question is, how do we use this? Now, if you are given an expression such as, let's say I'm going to use this board here, across here. Supposing, forget this one for a minute. Let's start with something very simple. Supposing we are given to expand 1 plus x to the power, let's say 3. Right. So we go to line number 3 because the power is 3. So I'm going to line number 3. So it means that these numbers here, They are the coefficients of the terms in the expansion of this. So the first term, which will be a 1, is just coefficient 1. The second term, which does have an x, remember the powers of x are increasing until they get to the highest power, which will be x to the power 3, of course. So the next term has got plus 3x. The next term has got plus 3x squared. The third term has got, the coefficient is 1, so it's just x to the power 3. Let's do it again. Here we are given 1 plus x to the power 3. Our power is 3. So I go to my Pascal's triangle, identify line number 3. These are the coefficients of the terms in the expansion. The first term, of course, is just 1. The second term has got coefficient is multiplied by 3. And we know that it's x to the power 1, x to the power 2, until it gets to x to the power 3. But what we are identifying here are the coefficients as we go up the powers of x. Okay, that will be 1 plus x to the power 3. What about, supposing we are asked to expand 1 plus x to the power 0. Well, the power is 0. Where do we go? We go to line 0. Line 0 just says nothing else, is just 1. Okay? X squared, 1 plus x to the power 2. So it's 1 plus x raised to the power 2. What do we get? We go to line number 2. So our coefficients will be, of course, first term is 1. The second term has got coefficient 2, and we know that x is raised to the first power. The third one has just coefficient 1, which will be just x to the power 2. Remember, we are expanding this with x increasing its power until it gets to the highest power, which in this case is 2. Now, back to our video problem. We are supposed to expand 1 plus x to the power 6. Let's see how we can do that. I'll clear the board here, and okay, so expand 1 plus x to the power 6, 1 plus x, all raised to the power 6. Again, as before, we are identifying line number 6 in our Pascal's triangle. Well, line number 6 is this one here. That's line number 6. So this means that our first term, of course, is 1. Our second term has got coefficient 5 and x to the first power. The third sorry, I've identified the wrong line. Sorry, I'm picking up the wrong coefficients. This is line number 6. So we are here. Our first term, of course, I beg your pardon. Our first term, of course, is 1. Then the coefficient in our second term is here, which is 6x. The third one is coefficient 15, so we have 5x squared. The fourth term is plus 20x to the power 3. The third one, 1, 2, 3, 4. The fifth one, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, has got 15 as its coefficient with x raised to the power 4. The 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. The sixth term is 6 as the coefficient and x raised to the power 5. And the seventh term has got coefficient 1. So that just gives us x to the power 6. Let's take note of the following. When we have the expression like this, of course, we express it with x powers in ascending order. In other words, we start with the lowest power of x. Here, x is raised to the power 0, x to the power 1, x to the power 2, x to the power 3, x to the power 4, 5, until we reach the highest power, which is x to the power 6. So what Pascal's triangle simply identifies are these coefficients, your 1, your 6, your 15, your 20, but you must remember that you are going to have your x in ascending powers until you reach the highest power, which is 6. In our